Did Israel deliberately strike South Pars to sabotage emerging U.S.-Iran peace talks? At 2:10 p.m. local time today, Israeli jets hit Iran's massive South Pars petrochemical complex at Asaluyeh, knocking out roughly 50% of the country's petrochemical production. The timing couldn't be more suspicious. Just hours earlier, intense overnight contacts were underway. Pakistan's Field Marshal Asim Munir spoke all night long with U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. A framework called the Islamabad Accord, an immediate ceasefire, reopening the Strait of Hormuz, and broader talks in Islamabad, was gaining momentum, with Egyptian and Turkish mediators involved. This wasn't Israel's first hit on the site. They struck South Pars in March, too. President Trump publicly stated afterward that Israel should not strike it again, yet the bombs fell anyway, while the proposal was still circulating. South Pars is the heart of the world's largest gas field, vital to Iran's economy and shared in part with Qatar. This was a calculated act of sabotage by Netanyahu's government. In an ongoing war, Israel sees Iran's energy sector as its most vulnerable pressure point to cripple revenue and military sustainment. But by choosing this exact moment, right as Pakistani-mediated talks were advancing, and despite Trump's clear public directive to hold off, Israel is deliberately undermining diplomacy. It appears determined to torpedo any deal that might limit its freedom to keep striking Iran indefinitely. Rather than allowing mediators to lock in even a temporary pause, Tel Aviv is applying maximum economic pain to force weaker Iranian concessions later, or simply to prolong the conflict on its own terms. Defying its closest ally like this risks dragging the entire region into far worse chaos. If Iran now chooses to retaliate by striking Gulf energy infrastructure, Saudi, Emirati, or Qatari facilities, the repercussions could be catastrophic. Global oil prices exploding past $150 to $200 a barrel, severe supply shocks to the world economy, and an uncontrollable escalation that harms civilians across the Middle East, including in Pakistan and beyond. Iran has already responded through Pakistani channels with a 10-point demand for a permanent end to the war. Bottom line, back-channel peace efforts continue, but Israel's obstruction makes them incredibly fragile and dangerous.